Hi, my name's Ricky, and alongside Daniel, Dante, and Abby, I'm going to be presenting on the anti-bullying campaign we put together. I'll be talking first, and I will be speaking on what bullying is, some bullying statistics, new changes that have introduced a new form of bullying known as cyberbullying, and then some statistics on cyberbullying. So, first off, what is bullying? So the Merriam-Webster dictionary defines bullying as abuse and mistreatment of someone vulnerable by someone stronger and more powerful. Bullying is a worldwide issue, and despite hundreds of campaigns against it, this continues to take place. That's why this is so important to be stressed and continue to combat it, because it's still occurring out there despite everyone's efforts. In addition to this, bullying can also have detrimental as well as lifelong effects that are not limited to, but include low self-esteem, depression, and even suicide. So some statistics on bullying is more than 1 out of every 5 students, that's 20.8%, report being bullied. The reasons for being bullied reported most often by bullied students include their physical appearance, race and ethnicity, gender, disabilities, religion, and sexual orientation. Bullied students indicate that bullying has a negative effect on how they feel about themselves. 19% said that. Their relationships with their family, friends, and even their schoolwork, 14% reported effects to that as a result of bullying, and even physical health. 9% said that their physical health suffered as a result of bullying. So then the change in bullying occurred with the introduction of technology and its widespread access. This created a new channel and way for bullies to attack their victims. This form of bullying is known as cyberbullying, and the internet offers many ways for a bully to target their victim, and it gives them even more power in the way that they're able to do so anonymously. The most common way this was done when I was in high school was through a platform called Ask.fm, which allowed people to leave anonymous messages on people's pages, and these could be harassing, threatening, insulting, comments such as that. And Snapchat has a new app that can tie into it. The app is known as Ask YOLO, and Ask.fm has died out at this point. So Ask YOLO has kind of been a revive and resurgence in the anonymous question asking. It's brought that aspect back. And with Snapchat being one of the most popular platforms today, it allows people to interact, and people put their Ask YOLO directly into their Snapchat, inviting users to leave anonymous questions for them, and this is just an invitation for bullies to attack them. So this has been on the rise in cyberbullying, and that's why cyberbullying needs special attention, especially during this pandemic. With everyone at home, bullies will be attacking more frequently through social media, as there's no face-to-face communication. So some cyberbullying statistics. Over half of adolescents and teens have been bullied about online, and about the same number have engaged in the cyberbullying themselves. Over 25% of adolescents and teens have been bullied repeatedly through their cell phones or the internet, and well over half of them do not tell this to their parents. Now, this is where cyberbullying differs from traditional bullying. Traditional bullying in the physical sense, which even includes exclusion, can physically be seen by an outsider. But in addition to that, physical would leave bruises, bleeding, and physical marks, which would allow someone else to see that and step in, identify the problem. With cyberbullying and a lot of people not reporting when they are cyberbullied, this means no one's aware of the issue and it's allowed to continue. And mean and hurtful comments and spreading rumors are the most common type of cyberbullying, which is very common, as I was speaking on previously, through sites such as Ask.fm and Ask YOLO. Cyberbullying is very damaging to adolescents and teens. Very similar to traditional bullying, it can still lead to anxiety, depression, and even suicide. This stresses the reason why we need to make sure cyberbullying is handled, because it has the same detrimental effects on the victims, but they're not reporting it. So while it's still wreaking havoc on them, their mental health, even physical health, they're not reporting it. No one's aware of the issue, and it's allowed to continue. But the other aspect that makes cyberbullying so important and so much more destructive is through the internet. Things on there don't disappear, they may stay there forever. A picture or something that was taken without someone's permission can be used as a form of cyberbullying, and if that picture resurfaces years later, the ridicule can continue all over again, and they have to relive that same pain of cyberbullying. Thank you for listening to my part. I will now be passing it on to my group partner Daniel to talk more about our target audience for this campaign.
So following on from that, I'm now going to be discussing who the target audience of our campaign will be. So we've selected to aim our campaign towards teenagers and more specifically high school students. The reason that we chose this demographic to aim our campaign towards is because after researching into some of the statistics regarding bullying, we found that 39% of children aged between 14 and 17 years old have reported being victims of relational aggression, which is a form of bullying. In addition to this, internet and cell phone harassment is reported as the highest among children of the same age group. These statistics, while they may seem really high, sadly they don't account for the large amount of victims of bullying who don't come forward. This means that in reality, the actual numbers are significantly higher than are reported here. So, next, what is the current behaviour of high school students in relation to bullying? So, high school students now more than ever are at risk of bullying, as different forms of the issue have appeared with the rise of popularity of the internet and social media. The issue of bullying is evolving so rapidly, and the changes in culture and society have only made the problem of bullying within a high school environment much more difficult to regulate and prevent than it has in the past. So next, what is the awareness of the problem of high school students? So we've all been told about bullying in presentations in high school, or maybe by our professors, our parents, or another family member. This means that education on the issue of bullying is at an all-time high. Whilst this is obviously a good thing, there is still a huge barrier to the awareness of high school students of the issue of bullying. This is that bullying has been an issue for so long and it evolves so rapidly that it's now became so commonplace within a high school environment that many high school students see the issue of bullying as something that they will just have to encounter in their high school life and something that just happens. This means that the issue is vastly overlooked. So, what is the level of knowledge that high schoolers have towards the problem of bullying? So in this day and age, high schoolers are fairly knowledgeable on the problem of bullying. High schoolers are at that age where they will have encountered bullying in some form in their lives. Either they've just witnessed it happening, or they've been bullied themselves, or in some cases they've been the bully and they've bullied someone. So whilst increasing the knowledge of bullying is incredibly important, it can only be so effective. Many victims of bullying won't report the issue to anyone, especially in the case of cyberbullying, which was brought up by Ricky earlier. Bullying is a very difficult issue to solve and to regulate, as it takes place all over the world and evolves so rapidly, especially nowadays with the introduction of technology. Unfortunately, it's highly likely that going into the future, high schoolers will still have to face the problem of bullying in some form in their lives. This means that we have to tackle the issue in a unique way. So, what are some of the barriers to understanding of bullying that high schoolers may face? So, high schoolers are not as responsive now to traditional methods of spreading awareness of bullying, such as a presentation. In order to fight bullying as it evolves, we have to evolve with it and change the way in which we deal with the issue, especially in relation to high schoolers. Other methods of spreading awareness of bullying must be found and utilised if we are to fight bullying in an effective way as it evolves.
So now that we know who our audience is and the prevalence of cyberbullying and bullying in general in today's high schools, the question arises of how are we supposed to reach out to them? So first of all, we wanted to be really sensitive toward the fact that bullying is a sensitive topic. We wanted to be sympathetic toward the kids that had been bullied. And we knew that not everyone is going to speak up about their experiences if, say, we ran around the country giving presentations to a bunch of different high schools. We didn't want to put anyone in a situation where they were being asked to share something while their bully was sitting next to them. So then we thought, okay, so we don't want to run around the country doing lecture series. So how can we reach the kids remotely? So we did some research and we found that 90% of teens aged 13 to 17 report using social media. So it's also been found that kids of that age range spend about 9 hours a day on the internet. And that's not including anything for schoolwork like emailing teachers or researching for projects. Those 9 hours is just social internet interaction. And as we know, that opens up doors for cyberbullying. So we knew that that's where we wanted to go. We found that in 2016, 82% of high school seniors not only used social media, but they used it daily. So from that information, we knew that this was going to reach as many kids as possible that we could in a short amount of time. And then we also considered, well, what about literature? What about magazines and newspaper articles? Well, that same study also said that only 2% of those same high school seniors report using literature like that daily. So we knew that that wasn't the way to go. We solidified the idea that we were going to use social media, and we went with what we thought would be the easiest and reach the most people, which would be Instagram. So now that we know how we're going to reach the kids, what do we want them to know? So first of all, we want them to know about the prevalence of bullying and that everyone knows words can hurt. We all get that. But we also want to encourage people to use words that's uplifting. And that while words can hurt, they can also help the situation. And then what do we want them to feel? So with cyberbullying being so prevalent, there's a lot of negativity in comment sections. And we just want people to feel good about themselves and good about the positivity that they're spreading and hopefully overshadow that negativity that some people are putting out there. And then lastly, what action do we want them to take? We know if we do a complicated action, they're not going to do it. So we simply just want people to spread positivity. And the way that we want them to spread it is through leaving comments on other kids' social media posts. So that brings us to our campaign idea, which we named the Compliment Campaign. So our first step to starting our campaign would be making an Instagram page. This is just a fake page that I made up on a generator online. But the main idea of the page would be to promote positivity and post motivational quotes every day so students feel like they have somewhere where they can go and see like-minded people and hear like-minded stories and just get some little positivity for the day. And then of course we want to encourage people to spread that positivity outward beyond the page. So what action do we want our followers to take? Like I said earlier, all we want them to do is make positive comments. The saying goes, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. But the opposite also applies, that a lot of people have really nice things to say when they see things online, but they don't go ahead and comment it. So that's what we're encouraging high schoolers to do, is to say those nice things on the comment chains and to do the hashtag compliment campaign, so that we can keep track of what people are saying and what positivity that they're putting out there because of our campaign. We really just want to fill people's timelines with positivity and with love and encouragement and overshadow those negative outcomes that come from people leaving mean comments.
So after knowing our target audience, our issue, all that stuff, now we need to know if our campaign is actually, like, if it's doing stuff. So here we are, this part, we're going to check on how we actually evaluate our campaign. Sorry for moving around weird, I'm trying to stay in the frame, but we zoom in here. So what we have here is the campaign is only good if it's effective. So now with Instagram, we chose Instagram, because it's the platform every teen's on. And so we chose this platform. You can use the hashtags, and with the hashtags you can track how many people are using the hashtag. So if we used our hashtag and we threw it up here, like say for example, these are some examples like stop bullying, spread love, whatever, you can see how many posts are using it. So as we continue with our campaign, we can see how many people are using our hashtag and see how it grows. Alrighty, so now, boom. So Instagram, I know we already went over this, but just to kind of reiterate and go over why we chose Instagram. We chose Instagram because even in the digital marketing area, like Instagram is very prevalent because digital media is now more than more now than ever before. It's very effective. So we chose Instagram because it's all visual media. It's all pictures. Now you can even do long video like YouTube with IGTV. So if we wanted to even branch into long videos, we could. But yeah, that's just a quick little overview why we chose Instagram. And now for the campaign, for you really, this is down to the nitty gritty. Like this is like the micro of like how we track our campaign. So Instagram has things called insights. Now insights allow you to track all the micro things of where all your posts goes, where you reach, how many people you reached, how many people viewed it, what even sometimes what kind of people viewed it, what accounts viewed it. It's very in depth. So now get a little zoom in if you can see just a picture of a couple of these figures here, and yeah, so like right here you can see like how many people viewed it through the days of the week, which is crazy. You can see where your demographics are, where the people came from, where your followers are. Like this is just an image off Google. Oh, I'm off the frame, whatever. But like see New York, London, like wherever your main engagement is, it can tell you. So I know it through a lot of figures, so I'm gonna cut to the next slide where we went over this more in depth. So as I said, insights. Instagram allows you to view one's insights. You know, insights is just your own, like, because Instagram you have followers, so your followers, it allows you to know what's going on with your followers. So it shows how many people viewed one's post, how many different people it reached. It even gives on the time, like, you know what I'm saying? It already said like the week. You know how many people, if you have a website in your bio, you can see how many people clicked your website, check your emails, all that stuff. Now, all of this is cool, you know, like, it's cool to know our numbers and stuff, but what do we do with that research? Like, what do we do with knowing how many people from New York viewed our page, or what kind of people use this hashtag and stuff? So, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, so, here, you can take all this data, and since Instagram was actually bought out by Facebook a couple of years ago, you can actually promote your posts. Like, if you post an Instagram picture, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a promote button if you put it on public and put it as a business profile. And if you have spare money that you want to throw around, or if you really have a cause and a goal and you're really passionate about it, whatever, if you just want to promote your posts and reach other people through Facebook ads, you can throw in money. And with those same demographics, like we said on this previous page, like where it tells you where they're from, you can target these people and put the ads to the right people. So say, for example, University of Rhode Island, right? They found that we were doing this. We actually put it into works, right? And they were like, oh, this is a great cause. We want to put some money behind it. So we could literally target all high schoolers. Oh, shoot. We could target any teens from around the world that are experiencing negative emotion. Like, it's crazy because I dipped into Facebook ads when I was drop shipping. It's like an online e-commerce, whatever. Now, don't have to get into that. But you could literally target the most niches of, like, it's insane. It's like single men make less than $60,000. Like, it's insane on how crazy, like, in depth these are. But anyways, Instagram was bought up by Facebook, and so once you have all of these, where are we? Oh yeah, so once you have all this information, you could push it in front of whatever type of audience you like. You could say, for example, you want to do everyone in Rhode Island. You could even put these ads at University of Rhode Island. It's crazy. So say, for example, we really wanted to make compliment campaign like a global thing, and we had a lot of capital behind us. We can use these Instagram ads and just blow it up. So yeah. Where are we next? Oh yeah. In conclusion, for our project here, bullying is a large-scale issue in today's society. That's why we picked it. You know, majority of everyone experienced it, and if you didn't, you experienced it in some form. There's no way you didn't really get bullied, but some people get very severely, and we saw that as an issue. And like, you know, like everyone, like kids are addicted to their smartphones today, and it would be nice just to see something positive. Even if you don't get bullied, just to scroll through your phone and see something positive to help impact your day is really great. So we decided to make a positive force on a platform that a large majority of teens spend a lot of time on, and hopefully making a cultural fad that spreads positivity and at least brighten someone's day. So hopefully, you know, if we did put this into work, we could spread kindness around. And yeah, that's been it. I don't know what to say. This camera thing is awkward, yo.